And we're live.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 13th, 2023. We have a really good show for you today. Quick disclaimer, nothing that is said here should be taken as financial advice. It should be used strictly for edutainment purposes only. We have a really good show for you. We have a sub from Sapphire, AI generation. That's going to be really interesting. Can't wait for that. So, Dip, how are you doing today?
I'm geeking out a little bit. I'm excited when it comes to AI, and I love playing with it and generating new images and everything else. So yeah, I'm a little bit giddy.
You and I both, my friend. I have actually used that one a couple of times on my Twitter posts, generating some images. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's get right into the market watch. We'll get through this right away, so we don't have to waste any time. Okay, here's good old coin market cap. Right off the top here, we can see that there are 684 exchanges. The total market cap currently is $1.42 trillion. The 24-hour volume is 42.4 billion, which is fairly low. As you can see, it's down 13% today. Bitcoin dominance at 51.9%. ETH dominance is at 17.3%. And you can do an ETH transaction for 44 GWE. The fear and greed index currently right now is at 70, which is in the green zone. That's only down, 4 points from last week. I'm surprised it's actually not down more because Bitcoin hasn't really done much. There's a lot of speculation that in the market there's going to be a dip coming or a correction coming, but we'll have to wait and see. Quickly here, just go over the granddaddy Bitcoin sitting at 37,736, and Ethereum is hovering around $2,052. Move over here to the rainbow chart on Bitcoin. As you can see, we're getting closer to the halving. And as we get closer to the halving, as with previous cycles, kind of hangs around this blue zone here for a little bit. We're a little bit ahead compared to previous cycles, but it's still really, really healthy. And as you can see, as we get closer to the yellow and then up into the orange is when we're in the full-fledged bull market. Can't wait for that. It's coming up sooner than people think, I realize. Now, this is Crypto Bubbles. I've looked at this personally quite a lot, and I figured I'd add it to the stream because it gives you kind of an indication of what's doing well, what's not doing well, what's in the red and what's in the green. And as you can see here, a few of them like Polkadot up 6.2% today, IOTA down 9%, and then Injective Protocol is up 10.3% on the day. I'll hand it over to you, Mr. Dip, for the crypto market, or sorry to say the traditional finance market.
Yeah, well, not much going on here. We got the S&P holding strong still. There's a lot of speculation that we're going to get the December tax harvesting coming, but I have my doubts with that. I think everybody's had a full year to get a negative balance on their for their taxes and get some write-offs. So I'm expecting another solid month, probably being up around S&P's all-time highs. And then I'm going to just click on Tesla real quick, just because there's been a lot of news around that we're going to get to. And it's holding fairly strong as well. A little bit of crab movement in it, but all in all, pretty good. I don't think any investors are upset. So I'll move on to headlines now.
Yeah, okay. There aren't really too much to talk about. Last week, Binance stole the spotlight, so to speak, and they're at it again this week. I read an article that they're going to be ending their support for the BUSD actually next month, December 2023. I don't know what that's going to mean for the BUSD token, the stable coin, quote unquote stable coin, but we'll have to see. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's just all going to get transferred into USDC, and it'll be business as usual.
Yeah.
Different ticker.
Yeah.
It was kind of redundant having both on the same smart chain anyways.
Now, I mean, digging deeper into that, there are a lot of, quite a few DeFi projects that still use BUSD. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. They're going to have to do something with their smart contracts, change how they operate. The other thing I wanted to mention is MicroStrategy. They're at it again. They just purchased an additional 16,130 Bitcoin worth an estimated 593 million at the time of purchase. MicroStrategy, they just keep buying it up. There's Mr. Sailor.
Yeah, like you gotta pop up the sailor in the corner. I'm not sure what that would make them for the holder, like what place they would be as in like top 3 or
yeah,
whatever.
I think they're up there.
Yeah, but I'm also hearing a bunch of news about their average price saying that they're over $1.5 billion in profit as of right now on their Bitcoin holdings.
Now, put this into perspective. Can you imagine when we hit the top of this upcoming bull market, how much profit they're going to be in? It's unreal. I think what's their average buy-in? Right around 30,000, 31,000?
30,000, yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He looks like a genius now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Everyone started laughing going into the bear market, and yeah, you have a slow year, and Bitcoin does over 100%, and suddenly you're a superstar, right?
Yeah, I remember reading those articles, people saying that, did he make a mistake, and is he going to be booted from MicroStrategy, and all these other stupid comments. But yeah, he looks like a genius now. That's never going to happen. Moving on to your buddy, Elon Musk. I'm sure many people have seen that interview that he had, and he basically told some of the advertisers that are trying to blackmail him to go F themselves. I thought that was rather interesting. Elon Musk, I wasn't a big fan of his, not too long ago, and I know you're one of the guys that does like him, but I think I'm rolling over. I'm beginning to understand the way his mind works, and the guy's a legend.
Yeah, well, you think in the last few years, the amount of people that have lost jobs or been bullied over things they posted on social media, and even in the same case as him, the pressures from advertisers to censor certain individuals on platforms. It's great. Personally, I think it's great to see someone actually stand up and be a leader, and hopefully a lot more do, because free speech is essential for freedom in society, right? You can't just live in a world where everybody agrees with you. So differing views are good, but a little civility goes along.
You know what he reminds? He reminds me of one of those guys that that got bullied in high school. He probably was, as a matter of fact. But then, as he's gotten older and he's become one of the richest men in the world, he can finally use that influence and that power to give the big middle finger to all those people that used to make fun of him. I love it.
The new Elon salute.
A dual finger salute. And then, for those that care, I'm sure everyone has heard about the Cybertruck. That's, it's been announced for a long time now that they're coming out. They're actually finally going to be starting delivery, which is, well, I don't want to say it's exciting, but for those that bought one, they're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I watched the initial deliveries today on X, and it was pretty cool to see. They had the Cybertruck doing a drag race against Porsche 911, and the Cybertruck beat the Porsche 911 in the quarter-mile drag race, and then the camera zoomed out, and it was towing a Porsche 911 on a trailer behind it. So technically, the Porsche 911 is faster on the back of a Cybertruck than it is on its own. So, and then they had the Tommy gun shooting the doors and everything else. And it's a wild-looking vehicle. I can't wait to see them rolling around on the streets. It's pretty cool.
It's definitely different. Okay, that's all we have for headlines. Pretty short week. Not much going on.
Yeah, so this week we're going to do a little segment called Smash or Pass, and we're going to bring up Crypto Cruiser. What the idea is he's given us some info on some crypto project every week, and or every week that we can do it, and then we're going to give it the big smash or pass and see how his sales pitch does. So we'll move on to that right now. Bring
Sounds
up
good.
Crypto.
Looking forward to hearing about this one.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me on.
How you doing?
Happy to have you.
Good, good. I've been looking forward to this. I've had to do some research on this one because it eluded me all this time until recently. So,
Now, for those that don't know, there's a lot of people out there that really have no idea what the utility or what the use case for a lot of cryptos that are out. Most people don't know what most of them outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum do. So this is kind of neat because Crypto Cruiser doesn't as well, and so he's kind of doing the research for all of us. So we pick a token or we do polls, and he gets a different project that he gets to do research on. And then whenever we do the smash or pass, he gets to relay that information to all of us, and we all get education at the same time.
yeah, it was certainly enlightening and educational just doing the research on what this one really is. So,
All right, looking forward to it. Did you want to share your screen then?
yeah, because, well, things are easy to learn when there's graphics to go along with it. So we're going to get right on that now.
Now, for those wondering, I know he's done a lot of research on this. It's taken a little bit of time, so here we go.
Yeah, and this one, well, it's HBar. A lot of people have heard of it. Many have not. And if you're invested, hopefully you know what it's about. And if not, well, hopefully this will help. HBar, incredibly fast, predictably low fees, finality in seconds. That's how they get you on their website as soon as you start your research. That's the first thing they throw at you. All right, so there we go. HBar, the native token of the Hedera network. First question that came up, of course, is what is the Hedera network? The way they describe it themselves is a proof-of-stake smart contract platform created for cryptocurrency transactions and decentralized applications. And to summarize or expand on that, rather, the Hedera network works through a groundbreaking form of distributed consensus technology called the hash graph consensus algorithm. I had no idea what that was. I had to learn. That in itself is complicated, but quite impressive. It is the most used sustainable public distributed ledger in the world. Developers and enterprises can use Hedera's network services, crypto, smart contracts, data and file storage, and consensus services to create applications that run on top of the network. The network supports the potential for an exceptionally wide range of applications, from music streaming services, pharmaceutical supply chain management, energy microgrids, to multiplayer online games. And a lot of these applications are in development and even some being used already on the network. This is interesting. Hedera is governed by a rotating group of high-profile, leading global organizations that span across multiple industries and geographies. The governing council is structured to ensure decentralized, transparent, stable, and effective governance on behalf of the long-term interests of the network. Hedera's technology and government make it scalable and well-suited to become the first public DLT network to achieve widespread acceptance and adoption, particularly by enterprises. If you can see it on the graphic below, some of the massive corporations around the world that are involved in Hedera and in HBar, the Hedera network, many of which sit on the governing council. Companies like Boeing, Google, IBM, Dell, LG, Ubisoft. I mean, these are all companies everyone has heard of. So it's quite impressive that they've attracted these types of companies to help build. All right, just a brief timeline of HBar. 2018 was the initial launch where they minted 50 billion HBars and placed them into treasury accounts, and network testing began. Jumping to 2019, the network was open to the public and the HBars were distributed and began to appear on exchanges. HBar is initially distributed to accredited investors through SAFT, or Simple Agreement for Future Tokens, which raised them a lot of money to start building the network. In 2020, there was 4% of the total HBar supply in circulation at the beginning of the year. They expected to hit about 13% by the end of the year through distribution. Open source development and incentivized network testing far exceeded expectations, and that brings us to 21 and 22. By the beginning of 2021, they were already at 25% of the circulation, HBar in circulation. And by the end of 22, they're up to 42%. It just ballooned because the companies that wanted to jump on board for the development of the network and to be on the governing council, it caught them off guard. They weren't expecting how much interest there would be. So they grossly underestimated their distribution schedule. Here we are in 2023, we're at 63% of the total supply now in circulation. They had estimated 34% by the end of 2025. So they've almost doubled that 2 years ahead of time. And as of now, there are currently 27 enterprises that operate validator nodes on the network, that being the governing council. And those 27 enterprises have to have a minimum of 460 million HBARs in order to be qualified to operate a validator node, which equates to an investment in today's value, based on what today's value of HBAR is, $27.5 million. So there is a ton of money in this network building. Just incredible numbers, really, for such a new token, really, or a new network over the last number of years. HBAR powering the next generation. HBAR is used on the network for two main purposes: to fuel the network. It is used, the coin itself, it's used to pay for network services, transactions, smart contracts, and to reward the nodes or node operators for providing the services to the network. At the same time, it acts as its own protection. And how it does that is that, any distributed ledger can be attacked if a malicious actor, or bad actor as we all know them as, controls 1/3 of the voting power, or in this case, 1/3 of the coin supply. So the way the Hedera network is set up with the governing council, that shouldn't ever happen where one company has enough, or any one person, any one entity will ever have enough of the tokens to manipulate or do anything malicious on the network. That does stand as a huge positive for many, many people. Jumping into the application use cases, this graphic is, it basically just gives a quick representation of how HBAR is used. The individuals, enterprises, governments, through different applications, utilize one of the service categories, whether it's consensus token service, smart contract services on the network, through the Hashgraph consensus, and of course the governing council operates those nodes that validate every transaction. So it's just a great big circle that's continuously revolving. HBAR utility token is used as a payment mechanism for dApp development, transaction, and smart contract fees, and government processes that help shape the future of the network. That's how they describe it, and that graphic kind of gives a representation of that. It shows how it fuels the network as a payment token from the end user to the validator node through the applications. And of course, the governing council does get rewarded from the payments using HBAR payments on that network. All very interesting, very complicated. I couldn't possibly get all the information into one short presentation. There's just so much to it. It's quite impressive. Finally, we'll just give a little bit of price action history just to give an indication of where it's been and where it's going. From 19 to 20, it had a steady price range of 1 cent up to 8 cents. In 2021, HBar reached a high of 57 cents in September. It fluctuated significantly throughout the year. And of course, in 2022, wasn't a great year for anything. It was affected by broader market events like UST depegging and the FTX collapse, of course. HBar ended 2022 at 3.5 cents, which wasn't great in comparison to the high of 57 cents, but we all know how the market was in 22. 2023, so far this year, it's recovered to 6 cents as recently as the last couple of weeks, forming an ascending channel, indicating a potential gradual uptrend with immediate support levels in the upper fives to the 6 cent range, which it still sits at now. 2024 could be crucial for Hedera, influenced by several in-network developments and broader market trends. Its focus on improving its technical infrastructure and the broader market recovery are key drivers for its potential price increase. From all the charts I've seen, all the estimations, HBar is set to do well going into the bull market. But what that limit is anybody's guess. Current market cap sits $2 billion based on its current price. It's it could potentially be a lot more very soon, especially with all the developments on the network. So it's a lot of excitement around it for those that are involved in it, myself included. And that is hopefully an understandable breakdown or summary of what HBar is all about.
Yeah. Well, it's no secret that I have liked HBar for a while. It's part of the ISO 20022 basket of cryptos that are supposed to be don't want to call them centralized, but they're certainly working with the traditional banking system, and I think they're going to do really well in this bull market and beyond.
One thing I've
heard a lot about it, and I've actually learned a lot today about it. So, well, it's the segment is Smash or Pass. Crypto Crazy, what are you doing with HBar?
Oh, I'm smashing it all the way, smashing it hard.
You smashing it? I think Crypto Cruiser sold me enough that I'm going to smash it too. I might not be introducing it to friends, but I'm going to be having a little bag hiding in the corner. And Crypto Cruiser, do you smash or pass?
Well, I did want to just make one little note that I didn't put in the presentation that I intended to, and I just realized after I finished that I didn't. One thing I really like about it is that it does have use cases for government, and that the network, the permissioned network that government can build their apps on, is completely separate from the permissionless network that we know as decentralized. For them to keep it completely separate is just one more feather in the cap. This is definitely something I smash all day long. I'm really excited about where this is going to go.
Guess I'm going to have to buy me a bag. All right. So now for our spotlight, we'll bring up Sav here.
All right, Crypto Cruiser, hang around for the roundtable segment of the show.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. For our spotlight tonight, really excited about this one. We have Saab from Sapphire. He's going to tell us about the program or the protocol as well. I also want to first of all introduce him. How are you doing, Saab?
Good. How are you? Great to be here.
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. Before we get into the actual project, I did want to, anytime we have guests, we like them to kind of introduce themselves, let the audience know, the listeners know a little bit about you, and kind of lean into your journey getting to where you are today, and your crypto journey as well before you start off with the Sapphire project. But a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I'll keep it kind of short and simple, but I'm Saab from Tombstone. We were an NFT project that launched in March of 2022. Have kind of stuck around since then and survived the bear market. We really kind of focused into the software as a service side of things with our extension called Tomb Labs, and then that kind of like developed into making our own product, which happened to fall into the category of AI, and that's called Sapphire. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Really excited about it. Just excited about the application of AI in general and just like the use cases of it, and how we are using that to integrate blockchain technology and make anybody a creator.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've actually used it myself. When I first heard about it, I heard it on the Twitter Spaces from the DGens project with Chart Davidson, and it piqued my interest right away. So I checked out the website, and anyone that goes on there, you can kind of dabble and try it out for yourself. And the imagination, sky's the limit. And a couple of the images that I generated were fantastic. Like the image quality was great, the speed was amazing. You want to go into a little bit more detail about the project itself?
Yeah, sure. So Sapphire is an AI art tool pretty much at surface level, but we use 3 of the top engines in the AI world, and that is DALL-E 3, Leonardo, and Stability. So basically you can enter in a text prompt and you get these really high quality images out of it, and you can use those for a lot of different things. Making cool art or making a cool image that you want to share on the timeline, or maybe you're an artist and you have an artist block and just need some inspiration. This kind of has all these different kind of variables that anybody can kind of use it. Anybody can be creative and have these tools to kind of like empower their talents. But what's cool about it is we're taking all of that and integrating the blockchain. And so let's say you create one of these cool ass images and you want to, mint it into one of these NFTs. Basically what you're doing is saving your art on the blockchain forever. And we're kind of going to like lean into that thesis. But yeah, you can mint them into NFTs, PNFTs, which are the royalty enforced standard NFTs, or CNFTs, which are the compressed NFTs. So like really cheap, easy to kind of like send around as collectibles. It's what like Drip House uses for some of their stuff. So yeah, there's definitely some application there. Another way is we're integrating like Web3 payments. So the difference there is like Midjourney, even DALL-E, or all of the other things, they don't have crypto payments. You can't use Bitcoin, you can't use ETH, you can't use Solana. So we're already into the Solana blockchain, but we're looking to expand into other ones. But the idea behind that is like, we don't want to be limited to these like Web2 credit card subscription payments. Let's bring in Web3. Let's make and utilize this blockchain technology, more specifically Solana, just like with the speed and the cheap fees, just to keep everything fast-paced, frictionless, and keep it very fluent as we move into like the progression of the project. But yeah, that's just like kind of a wrap up. I'd be happy to kind of give you guys like a little preview of how it works, what we've got going on, just to give the viewers some visualization.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to try to present. Hold on.
Yeah, I think we have to just put it up for you after you've put it up or showed it on our side.
Okay, looks like I can do a window. Let's just do the entire screen. All right, you guys let me know when I'm good. Sick. Awesome. Welcome to Inception. My bad.
There we go.
There we go.
Cool. I can actually, my bad boys. I'm trying to organize myself. Sick. Yeah, this is Sapphire. So you can log in with a Gmail account. We wanted to make it like a Web 2.5 sort of deal, so it's available to anybody. And then when you log in, you can obviously like go here and connect your wallet. think I'm already connected, so I'm all good to go. But when you do sign in, you get 100 free sapphires. Those can be viewed here. And then those are used to generate your images. So you'll go down to generate image, select your engine, DALL-E 3, Leonardo, or Stability. Just for demonstration's sake, I'm going to go ahead and just select DALL-E 3. And then below, you'll see all like your other generations. You can see some of mine loading in. Mine, I have a couple thousand, so it's going to take a minute for them all to get in there. But yeah, I can see like all my other recent generations. So for example, probably can't get too far down in there, but I'll just select one and it'll show me the image. You know, I can save it. I can make the generation public on the explore page, or here's like the really cool part. I can make it mintable.
Cool.
I have to do something right now, but yeah, the other cool part is you can come down and like download the image, copy the prompt here, and then what I will do is just kind of like repaste this prompt. Or you can like obviously pick and choose what you want to do. You can make it very simple, just like a couple of words. Or you can go here to like the prompt enhancement tool and select different boxes to kind of say like, hey, this is the style that I want to go for, or these are like the details that I want included in my image. And if you look closely in the prompt, you can see those throughout this, or like some of the other prompts on the explore page. But yeah, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just generate. It takes a couple of seconds, and that's just like natural because it has to pull all of the images from the internet and stuff, or from the engine, into this one sort of masterpiece. So
well, it's amazing detail. So, I mean, the amount of time it actually takes to produce this image is nothing compared to you know, the detail that's in each one of these images.
Yeah, absolutely. It should only be like 20 to 30 seconds each one.
I had a quick question. On the mobile side, when I was playing with it, where you can pick your image generator, on the mobile side, there's an option for all as well. Is that using all three search engines, or AI image generator engines, or
yes,
still have?
It could be just a little mess up that we were testing out. I do know that we have started the conversation between like utilizing the different engines and using some GPTs. And then we want to like kind of bounce them off the different engines. So like it'll go through Leonardo first and then over to DALL-E 3, produce an image, and then maybe like that image can go into Stability. And then like
So I just went and put you on the spot over something that was being tested.
No,
Apologize for that.
It's really fine. I love that. It's cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I would like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. We're just getting our feet wet with like some of the AI stuff. But
yeah, I was very impressed with how it deals with text, where any other time I've played with other AI software, the text never comes in correct, where I think every image came in perfect for me when I was doing my search criteria. It was fantastic, especially if you're going to be doing logos or something.
Exactly. And I can even show you like some of the logos I generated. But yeah, like this obviously like says tomb and has like a cool texture to it. So yeah, like it really kind of picks up on those like very specific things that you tell it to do.
Yeah, actually, that's worth noting. That you know, the more detailed you are in your prompts, and the more imagination you put into it, the better these images are going to be as well.
Absolutely, and that's kind of like why we've been like putting these prompts on display almost. It's like so other people can see like, oh, this is coming up like from this generation. Maybe I can try that or do something like that. So what I just did is I made this recent generation. This is the one I just made on stream. I made it public, so it should be shared to the explore page. And now it's actually mintable as a CNFT. So I can go back to the explore page and find it here, scroll down a bit, and I can click mint.
Wow, this completely changes the game for NFT generation. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, cool.
So do you get to choose which Solana NFT marketplace you're minting to, or is it on this platform specifically?
It's on this platform specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you sign the transaction,
Okay.
kind of mixed up a bit here, so I might have to find it, but it will pop up into your wallet and you'll be good to go.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
then from
That's
there,
really good.
we can get into maybe this next part, auctions. So let's say you went ahead and made a really cool NFT and you want to share it with everybody and you want to start to earn from being a creator, basically. You can do that now. So you can go to auctions, and these are obviously like the live auctions you can place bids on that we've just like put up for testing examples. But yeah, you'll be able to go to, I need to verify my wallet, I believe. One second. Interesting. There we go. Cool. Little bug. But yeah, it'll show you all of your recent generations. So you can like select anything that you want and it'll mint it into an NFT, then start the auction. Or like, for example, the one that I just did, it will recognize like, hey, this is an NFT. I can go ahead and like name the auction. So like skeleton auction, do all the little stuff, do some starting prices, select the dates. Really just have like a full control over like what you want to auction, when you want to do it.
Start time, end time. Yeah, that's great.
That's wild.
You can also do like royalties, so the seller basis fee. If I want to set it to 100% and be greedy, or set it to 0. You can also do like immutable and mutable NFTs. So we'll have like a dashboard. You can edit all of your minted NFTs. And this is like that overall setting that says like, hey, I can go back in later and change things, or like if I select it off, no, I can't change it later.
Okay.
So run this, and it should just do one transaction to start the auction since it's already an NFT. But like I said before, if it wasn't, and it was just an image from the generation, it'll go ahead and send that transaction to be minted and then start the auction.
Right.
Yeah, this may take a minute just because it's not officially live. We are on mainnet. Yeah, it errored out, but it actually might pop up. So a couple of bugs to work out with the auctions. That's why it's on a separate tab. But that's the gist.
A lot of this could be the streaming software we're on now. It tends to take up a lot of memory on the computers and bog you down pretty good. So that could be causing you some issue as well, just being on our stream.
True, the upload download speed. Yeah, no worries. I think I kind of covered everything. We want to just like be able to allow our users to create things and then like auction them or sell them or have people mint them from right here on the explore page. Yeah, I'll just jump into like the next thing. You can obviously go into my generations and then do all of that same stuff from here. Make it mintable, make it public. But another cool thing is we added Web3 tools. So the first thing is you can burn NFTs for sapphires. So let's say like I have a bunch of rugged NFTs, or like here's my tombstone. I'm not going to burn that one, but here's just like a collectible that I minted earlier. I can burn that, sign the transaction, and then it will compensate me for sapphires. So it'll give me 2 sapphires for every NFT that I burn, and then I believe it gives you 50% of the fees from the closing of the token account. So just like another way to kind of get sapphires if you don't really want to purchase them or want to clear out a wallet one day. Just another option. And then
it doesn't matter what you're using to burn.
No, it doesn't. Except like you can't like mint a ton of NFTs and then burn them. Like you're just gonna waste your money doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it can be anything. It could be a DGod, it can be a tombstone, it could be one of these things that I just minted on Sapphire. Whatever it is, like if you mint it, it'll give you sapphires back. Or if you burn it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so for this next part, it's sort of the same deal. You can swap tokens that have an LP directly for sapphires. So I don't know if I even have any. Let's try this one. I know I have a little bit. 10. Cool. And then I get 34 sapphires out of it. This uses the, I believe, Jupiter swap. and there I go. I get sapphires for any like extra tokens that I have, or maybe I have Dust or Forge or Foxy. I can go in here, exchange them really quick, and then be good to go. And then obviously
that's really cool, where you get gives you an opportunity to get rid of like the dust left in accounts for LP pools and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything that comes into to us just gets swapped into USDC, and then that's just how we compensate for giving the sapphires back, because the sapphires are all off chain. It's just like a database storage of who's got what and how many.
Okay.
And then
that's really cool.
If you don't want to do any of the burning and the swapping, you can go directly here. You can buy sapphire packages. If you buy a bigger package, you get more for free. And then as the packages go up, they obviously increase in price, but get discounts along the way. So far, the Shimmer package has been the most popular, just like the $7 USDC one. I don't even think I have enough in this. Actually, I might. Let's do some testing. Sweet. Cool. And it's in USDC or Sol, and then the Sol just gets subsidized, to whatever amount that might be. And then, purchase successful. I'm good to go. I can go back, and then my sapphires will be here soon.
That's really affordable too, in comparison to a lot of other AI platforms, where you got monthly subscriptions and everything else. You can get a lot for very little through Sapphire. That's awesome.
Exactly. And the other thing I love about this website, it's kind of your all-in-one stop shop, because I've visited other sites and stuff, and you can't do everything all on the site. Whereas Sapphire, it's all here. You can do everything you want, everything from imagination to selling an NFT. It's great.
Absolutely, and we want to lean into that a lot. We kind of realize what we have here, and we want to first of all, with Midjourney or even some of the other top engines or AI tools, the thing is there's so many of them, and it's just so spread thin across the internet that I have to jump around to this different site to a different site just to get one task accomplished.
Exactly.
If we can get all of that stuff into one spot, tie in Web3 integration, I think we're going to kill it. And we've already gotten like such a positive response from it that it's just going to go crazy. Back to my point with like how we're going to lean into it is, yeah, we're going to bring in these other tools that aren't really like Web3 tools. They're more AI tools, like a vectorization tool or like a remove background tool, upscale, or like a zoom out from an image. So like all of those things are accessible on the internet. The problem is just like nobody puts them together. Nobody aggregates them. For Web3, like we have these marketplaces that are like, okay, let's aggregate all of the prices from every marketplace. And that's great. That really finds like, like a good price for everybody, right? So like sort of the same idea for here. We can bring all of these tools in, kind of put them onto one platform and run with it from there. Just kind of like show everybody, like you were kind of saying, it's all in one place. It's a one-stop shop. You don't need to go anywhere else. It's all right here.
Yeah, amazing. And I said before, Dip had mentioned that it's very affordable. When you first get on the website, you get 100 to play with, 100 sapphires. And yeah, just with 100 sapphires, you can generate quite a few images. I've done, I think 4 I've done now, and I still have some sapphires left. So, you know, buying the packages you had showed there, I believe the top package was 5,000 sapphires. And the price is right. Like it's very affordable. Yeah, 25 USDC. And you can create so many images with that many. So even if you're just into, you know, like if you want to do some advertising or for example, for a YouTube channel thumbnails, it's a great tool to utilize.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what it's for. I think you nailed it. I guess like before I wrap up, I just want to show off like redeem codes. Pretty soon we'll be dropping codes on like Twitter and to our like partnered projects. I'll also be at Art Basel handing out little cards that have a QR code and the redeem code on the back. So you'll be able to do that. Actually, I'm not going to type in that code because if I show that on stream, it'll be ruined for Art Basel. So yeah. I will say that for another time. Just trust me that it works.
We trust
Yeah,
you.
but news and updates just to keep everybody like up to date with what's going on, what we've fixed, and then like FAQs, kind of just to like answer questions that people might have about blockchain or AI engines, and then like we'll expand on this as we kind of get more feedback in the future. But yeah,
Very intuitive website as well. Very well done.
Yeah. What plans do you have for the future for the AI? Or do you plan on moving into the AI video or other aspects?
Great question. Yeah. So I think a couple of different companies have released their AI video. One of them is Runway. Another one is called Pika Labs, I think. And yeah, so they don't necessarily have a public API yet, but once we get a hold of that, that usually opens the door to the conversation of, working out a deal with them. So yeah, absolutely. AI videos all on the table. All of these other tools are absolutely on the table. I think right now we're just kind of like scratching the surface of like, okay, we're making cool images, but what else can we do? And to kind of like answer that question very briefly, we are adding let me just kind of like showcase it really quick, an AI assistant. So like if I type in any prompt I want, I can click this button. It'll use Sapphires. It may not be working right now just for like testing purposes, but in the live version, it'll below the generate button, it'll give you 4 different prompt versions based on this. So it's basically like ChatGPT saying like, hey, look at this sentence, make it better.
Okay.
Right. That is awesome.
But yeah,
Brings a new meaning to smart AI.
Be a deep fake Elon Musk and do a live stream.
yeah. And then we can do some like voiceover stuff too. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. It's a lot of fun. So big question for you. Is AI a threat or not to civilization?
Oh, yeah. My favorite question. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's a tool. And that's how I see it and have seen it recently. But I could open the conversation up into like what just happened recently with OpenAI and the rumors about Q-Star and things of that nature, because when it gets up in that level and a lot more powerful, and when it's starting to like break encryptions, that's where we're having a problem, because that obviously like is talking about blockchain tech, and that could almost make it valueless. So I'm a little bit scared in that sense, and that's how it could maybe affect humanity. But I don't think it's gonna like take us over or like take our jobs or anything. I just think it could have some negative implications on like the economy later on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like so many things in life now, especially, you just got to use it responsibly. That's what it all comes down to. Use common sense. I know common sense isn't very common these days, but there's proper ways to use things, and that AI it falls right into that category. If you're responsible with it and use it according to the way it was meant to be and designed, everything should be fine. I actually did a poll in Telegram for that very question. And overwhelmingly, it's like 90% said that they don't feel it's a threat if used properly, and that's the key.
For sure.
Yeah, I think my only concern with AI would be how quickly it could pretty much leverage information to the public on a media standpoint, and so I think that's probably the worst. I don't think robots are going to be going Terminator or anything in the future, but I do see it as a tool to funnel information in the way that certain people want it to be absorbed.
Actually, that's a great segue to get into the roundtable discussion. I want to hear what some of the other guys have to say. We have a few people here. I'm going to bring up Juan to the stage, Ashla, and Corby is here as well. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Welcome.
I don't think they were quite prepared. Corby, how are you doing, sir?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Loud and clear.
My cat was climbing on my computer. That was my problem.
Oh, I see. We have Juan here as well. Juan, how are you?
Hey guys, how we doing? How we doing? Good conversation.
Thank you. Doing well. Yep. Solve has quite the product there. Sapphire is amazing. It's a real easy tool to use. And if you're into AI and image generation, it's the only one that you need. One-stop shop, as I said. Did you have any views on AI in itself, or any questions for Solve when it comes to Sapphire?
Well, definitely AI can be very dangerous. Not in the Terminator version, but definitely in I'm a human being considering to dominate the world, and using a machine to do it for me is awesome kind of way. And I think as long as humans are behind certain things, we're going to continue to have this conversation around AI. And, if you just think back from the computer, right, the simple RISC processors that are being used to now, a lot of malintent went behind some of the programming. It just, as much as we like to be altruistic with our intentions as a human society, capitalism rules. And I think that as long as that continues, we're going to have a problem. But I really like the way we're seeing AI be implemented now with, generated images, being able to speak to it and have a real life conversation. There are people out there who are alone in the world and would love to be able to have a normal conversation without being feared of being attacked for their different viewpoints. So I'm excited to see those implementations to really help people in the future.
Dude, could have been.
Go ahead.
No. I cut you off, Crypto Crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was actually going to say, do you have any views on that, actually?
Yeah, so look, when it comes to AI, it's honestly really a bit of a double-edged sword. It has the potential to do incalculable good for countless multitudes all over the planet. It could just as easily be used and abused. So AI is one of those things that for damn fucking sure needs regulation, to say the very least here. But at what point do we infringe? At what point should we stop? Because, for instance, if I create a software via AI that mimics, for instance, Corby's voice, and by the way, I hope you've been doing well, Corby. It's been a while. I hope you've been good, man. It's good to see and hear from you again. But nonetheless, though, if I were to invent an AI that, say, mimics Corby or Boy's voice, word for word, bar for bar, I call in the police. I call in the police threat. Say again, Corby?
They already have that.
Oh, I know, but that's the point.
Yeah.
It already exists. It's terrifying as fuck, because imagine somebody copies my voice and I say, hey, I have 5 10-year-old kids here that I am in the middle of, I would not even want to describe, come over here and give me $10 million or such and such. And you will see 5 platoons of SWAT officers and regular cops pull up to that location, and in the end, they find fuck all. It was a prank. Because that's one of the many ways that AI can be abused.
Well, that goes back to like what I said. We're just going to have to use it responsibly. And yeah, I know humans cannot be trusted.
And all 6 of us know that there isn't a frozen dick's chance in hell that the rats in the world are going to be reasonable and responsible with AI.
Yeah, true enough.
Corby,
what are your thoughts on the whole AI topic?
Well, I mean, I was just going to kind of keep it inclusive to like the project we were talking about. Is now with having so much AI generated artwork, it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, is the NFT marketplace just going to be completely devalued in the next bull market because it's going to be so oversaturated with all AI generated stuff? I mean, if we ever want to talk about this more, one of my buddies, Neil frickin' Diamond Hands, he'd be great to have on because he's all hand-drawn NFTs, and I'm sure he'd have an opinion too. But I'll be curious to see what that does to the marketplace in the future.
I'd love to jump in real quick and just kind of answer that. And I would love to have that conversation with him as well, because especially like these hand-drawn traditional artists, like those are the most important people that fear like AI art generation. and they have every reason to. Like, it's producing really incredible stuff really quickly, like that they don't have to like put all that time and effort into. But it is different. It's not perfect. So that's where like those like perfectionist people or like very skill-based, talented people come in, and they can do like a generative collection or like a more valuable artwork NFT collection. I think where like AI might be more applicable in the NFT market is like the collectibles or like open editions or like one of ones. But in that sense, like, yeah, like it's still like a huge threat to them and like what they do. But leaning into like the whole ethos of, you know, let's say like one day you really want to produce something, but you just like can't, you know, it's called writer's block. Maybe it's called artist block over here, but you know, maybe you can type in a couple of words, whether it's on Midjourney or Sapphire or Dolly, wherever it is. You can just like come up with a couple of quick ideas and then just like brainstorm off of that. And then, you know, you've completely gone on a different train of thought. So that's where like I think artists would really, really enjoy something like this and can use it as a tool rather than being fearful of it.
The other thing too, I'm thinking is no matter how creative and specific you are in your prompts, I don't think you can ever generate an image that you have exactly in your mind, whereas a hand-drawn or an old school artist would be able to pinpoint it exactly what they're thinking. They can put pen to paper. I know it's obviously close, and I'm sure you can get relatively close to what you're imagining in your head, but you can never get exactly what you're thinking by telling a machine or a program certain words.
That's such a beautiful point. And
like,
at the end of the go ahead.
No. You finish. Ignore me.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, I've generated like literally 1,000 of these, like on Sapphire alone, and like I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at prompting. Like I can get it to just where I want it, but it's not quite right. So like then I just want to click it again and again and again, and then it becomes like almost like this like sort of addiction that I've developed. Like I hate to admit it, but it's just so like so fun because like I'm almost right there to where I want it to be. And if I'm like one click away or one, you know, word away in my prompt, I can get it right there. And then it does come out a lot better. But then again, it's like one thing away. It's just like a spiral for me.
I can see how that would be.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know when I'm playing, you have something in my head and I'm trying to type out the prompts and have something similar pop up on the screen. And it's like, oh, wow, that's completely different than what I was thinking, but that's a good idea. And then now the prompts you're working on it until you've went down such a long rabbit hole, you need to stop and shave.
And then you got a page full of these images, incredible images, but not quite exactly what you're thinking. But no, the Sapphire Tool, it's amazing. When I first heard about it and checked it out, I was blown away. And I encourage anyone to check out the website and give it a try for themselves, especially if you're a creator or, you know, there are a lot of people that have a very creative imagination, creative mind, but they just don't have any artistic ability. And this is perfect.
Exactly. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Thanks for that, like, little shill.
Well, and I think
I'm going to have to agree with you guys when it comes to the point of using someone's imagination, creativity, but just for people who don't have that level of skill, it's a great tool. And I think I can imagine a day where this project can maybe deliver it as an educational thing for kids, make it very accessible, and show them a way of being able to kind of merge the crypto space with their imagination, accessibility at an early age, and not fear it as you grow, you know, because a lot of the stagnation that we do suffer from in crypto is not so much that we don't want to do it. There's a lot of it has to do with fear of the unknown. And you being able to do something, you know, introduce this, and finding a way maybe to have it accessible even at a low level, you know, for children, it's amazing.
That's an amazing utility. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that would be. And it's a good educational tool for them as well.
Oh, it could. Yeah, that's one of the like I said simply. AI can bring incalculable good for countless multitudes of people all over the planet in 6 different ways to Sunday. It can also bring harm. At the end of the day, the harm can't ever outweigh the good, and then we're just gonna have to live with it. Because like nuclear weapons, nukes are here to fucking stay. Should they have been made? Honestly, probably not. But they're here. They're always going to be here, so we have to goddamn live with them. Same with AI. It's here. It's going nowhere.
I think that's a great point. Because, like,
I mean, no, I sound nuts, but am I wrong? Am I wrong here?
No, not at all. I think maybe nukes is a great example because I don't think they were exactly like maybe like the physics and the chemistry. I don't really know.
Yeah, like I don't know if you saw the movie last year, but Oppenheimer, I bet the real dude never in a million billion years thought it was actually be half that powerful. Never mind that they can make something 100 times stronger.
Or used for that implication. So, like, I guess what my point would be is like, yeah, that technology wasn't used to like make nukes. Maybe AI's not being used in like the way that it should be, and like that's
not the final product
we should be totally fearful of. And that's,
I
love Ashley's point with that. And it's just like, yeah, there's always going to be like more bad that outweighs all the good, but that's where like all this regulation needs to kind of come in, and like we need to kind of get control of it before it gets out of hand, because I think once it's out of hand, it's like an exponential, just like craziness.
Yeah, like I do. Like I do not, and I know none of us do. We do not want to imagine how deep that rabbit hole could go. Corrupt AI.
Yeah. Well, personally for myself, I think of AI in a positive way, so I'm not going to even go down that route because I believe that technology. I know I'm naive, but I like to think.
No, you're actually right. But there should be more of you and less of bad actors and less of let's fucking use Mo from Green Figures as an example, if you know what I mean. Well, that fucking scumbag invested $1 million in cold blood.
Funny.
Well, what do you think they're taking their time with technology in general? You look at the quantum computer, that's been discovered since 1988, but yet we don't have them yet because of the ability to do really bad things right now. So, can it be used for good? Of course it can. It's just if it becomes too accessible, right? And I think that's where the issues come in, the ethos of it, so to speak. How do we navigate, regulate, control, and can we hold people accountable for what AI does or maybe doesn't do? So those are things that has to be discovered, and that can only be done with trial and error. So as much as they're going to be good things, they're just going to be honest mistakes that are just going to happen.
Wait a minute, quantum computers actually exist? Call me stupid, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and especially
IBM is developing one, I believe, but they're not finished it. They're very close, and I believe AI has already surpassed it, which is wild to think.
But one thing I kind of would like to use AI for. This is a really goofy example, but just bear with me on it. One of my IRL personality traits is I am a diehard Assassin's Creed fan, to the absolute complete and utter core. I love that video game series with my whole heart and soul. I will until I die. But anyways, in one of the Assassin's Creed games, there was like this DLC feature where you could create your own damn storyline. And I tried to create one. Don't even ask how it looked, because it was cringe as fuck. But the thing is, if I had AI at that time, I probably could have made a masterpiece.
Exactly. You can write game storylines or novels, and like
I know.
The current version of ChatGPT 4 is phenomenal at what it can do.
Actually, that brings me to one question they did have about Sapphire.
We both talked at the same time. Go crazy.
I just wanted to ask him, sorry, on Sapphire, your prompt category, is there a character limit or no? I forgot to ask that.
That's a great question. I don't think there is.
Okay.
But I know the more...
Because I saw your prompt, and it was pretty long.
Yeah, it was pretty long. I could go probably like double that before it really starts to like get kind of confused. It'll like mix up the words. It might put a lot of the words into like the actual image itself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So what happens there? It like think of it as like the AI is eating itself. It's like ingesting the information that it's inputting and outputting. It's confusing as shit, to be honest. I'm not even trying to explain it, but yeah, it just gets jumbled and messed up the more words you do.
Okay. Sorry, Deb, what were you saying? I cut you off there.
I can't remember now.
Okay.
I lost.
Okay. Well, It's now a little after 8. That is a good segue to end the show. Saab from Sapphire, really appreciate you coming on. It was great having you. Great hearing about the project or the program. It's an amazing tool for anyone looking to, like I said, for advertising NFT projects, minting their own, whatever they want to do. It's a one-stop shop. Great to have you. Everyone, feel free to stick around. We'll have a discussion after the stream ends, and we can get some more opinions on that. Dip, any last words?
No, I'm still geeking out about the AI stuff, and my mind's wandering about the goods and the bads and the uglies and everything else. So yeah, it's been a really fun stream, and thanks everyone for coming in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And
hey,
all right, thanks everyone. Appreciate everyone tuning in.
Acidic Cypher's here.
Yeah,
hey man, how are you? Good to see you. But hey, if I may get a word in, Crypto.
yeah.
Okay,
I may get a word in. Yeah, seriously. No. Okay, it's always good to be here. Thank you so much for letting me on, Crypto Crazy. And you too, Boy the Drip. I will never call you Boy the Dip. I'll always call you Boy the Drip, especially with that drippy beer. But point made, it's always good to be here. And as long as the show's here, I'll always support it. I'll always be on it. And we're going to go far. We're going to all be famous soon enough. Manifest it into existence.
Well, we do this for education and awareness, but never hurts to gain some clout from it. But we enjoy this. That's why we do it every week. All right, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep.
All right.
Peace out.
Bye, everyone.